It's tragic when you've got little to no money left for full-price computer games. But Microsoft has you covered. The Xbox and now PC Game Pass from Microsoft are pretty damn good value for money. I'm going to share 25 games available right now on Game Pass that I believe are worth a try. These are purely listed in alphabetical order. I may recommend an entire series of games in one go, and post your favourite Game Pass games in the comments. Okay, let the list begin. Alien Isolation. Hands down my favourite game from the Alien franchise and one of the best more modern survival horror games. Ripley's daughter Amanda is on a space mission to discover the truth behind her mother's disappearance. But she's grossly underprepared and under-equipped for the hair-raising horrific experiences ahead. I've lost count at how many times I've shrieked in fear playing this. Ark Survival Evolved. I've sunk tons of time into this open world survival game, and I'd say it's one of the very best in the genre for online play. Beginnings are harsh, but surviving, building up bases, taming dinosaurs, and going on your own adventures can be so fun. I'd recommend playing this one with a group of friends, and if you're going to play on PvP servers, it's really exciting, but be warned, it's absolutely brutal finding your base repeatedly destroyed when you wake up every day. Batman Return to Arkham. Everyone loves Batman. Arkham Asylum and City are his very best games that even redefined and evolved combat for superhero games going forward. You'll get to play and experience Batman making use of his tools, gadgets, and detective skills against an array of returning villains. There's also a third game, Arkham Knight, available if you want the full experience. It's still great, but not quite the same level of awesome. Borderlands: The Handsome Collection. This makes up Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, and all of the DLC for both games. It's a co-op story-based first-person shooter with tons of procedurally generated loot, and a pretty fantastic sense of humour. Great to play with friends, but still pretty awesome solo. Go get yourself set up for Borderlands 3 if you haven't already. Crackdown 3. It's kind of the generic open world experience, but it's pretty fun murdering criminals and gangs with superpowered agents. It's super satisfying building up your skills and visibly becoming faster, stronger, and smarter. It's not the kind of thing I'd recommend for a full retail price, but it's a decent time if you bring a friend for a co-op campaign. Oh yeah, and there's Terry Crews.
What are you doing in my fridge, Commander Jackson? You gotta step it up, Terry Crews! The enemy should never see you come.
Darksiders 1 and 2 Remastered. I absolutely love the gothic dark fantasy art style and universe of the Darksiders series, where you awesomely get to play the Horsemen of Apocalypse. The original action RPG used to be described as a dark Zelda, while number 2 offers more open worlds and a procedurally generated loot system. Doom. If you're looking for some good old first-person shooting, this gloriously gory reboot is awesome. Doom Guy just doesn't give a crap about story exposition.
I think we can work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
He's just here for the gameplay, and that's why you should play it too. Avoid the multiplayer though. Fable 2. The whole Fable series is available, but in particular I'd recommend number 2. It's a solid fantasy action RPG with a pretty fun sense of agency behind your actions and choices. That'll change not only your appearance, but the world itself and how its citizens react to you. When I think back to Fable 2, I remember fondly, addictively investing into properties and shops to generate more and more money at endgame. Fallout 3. One of my favourite post-apocalyptic RPGs. The kind of character you play determines your options, and choices you make actually have consequences. I love playing more intelligent and charismatic characters to hack computers and manipulate and control conversations. I'd say this is the best Fallout that Game Pass has to offer. There is Fallout 4 if you find 3 is too dated for you, or subway navigation is too frustrating. Just whatever you do, careful you don't accidentally drink toilet water when looting. The Gears of War series. It was so fun returning to this and doing a quality co-op campaign. I'm not a big fan of cover-based shooting, but I make an exception for Gears of War and chainsawing up locusts. The original Gears of War is my personal favourite, but if you want to delve further, you've got access to the entire series and number 5 when it's finally released. Graveyard Keeper is an incredibly unique indie concept that has you managing a graveyard. Initially it sounds a bit boring, right? But you'd be surprised. Sure, it can be a little grindy, but there's a solid crafting system, great story, dungeons to explore, and you'll even need to make ethical decisions. Should you harvest and sell organs to cut costs wherever possible? It could be the difference between being financially successful or not, but may also have its own consequences. Halo the Master Chief Collection. Come on, if you're on Xbox Game Pass, you probably already know how awesome Halo can be. Multiplayer is great, the campaign is even better. My personal recommendation would be to do Halo 2 and 3's campaign with as many friends as possible for an amazing time. Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition. I would describe Hollow Knight as a 2D Metroidvania-like platformer with elements of Dark Souls, all in an insectoid-based world. There's a really unique, dark, and at times sad and depressing atmosphere here that can really bug you. Also some incredible 2D boss battles that'll put your skills to the test. The Metro Trilogy are first-person shooter survival horrors, based on the Russian novels and set after a nuclear war where survivors live in underground metro tunnels. I actually just finished Metro Exodus and loved it. It's my favourite of the trilogy, and I can see this game being a serious 2019 Game of the Year contender for a lot of gamers. Monster Hunter World, another great game that's even better with some friends. As the title suggests, you're hunting epic notorious monsters. Gameplay is slow, but there's a weight behind your every action, and you're provided with so many opportunities in the environment to exploit to your advantage. Stick at the game, endgame is fantastic, with lots of new challenges and more progression. One of my favourite games of last year. Moonlighter is a fantastic and unusual indie game. Instead of playing a typical hero, you actually play a shopkeeper who traverses Zelda-like dungeons for loot to then sell in his store to adventurers. It's really satisfying spending your hard-earned cash on developing your town or store. Prey is a very atmospheric sci-fi themed first-person shooter with a bit of horror on top. You'll play in a space station overrun by hostile aliens. And to survive, you're going to need to be intelligent, scavenge what you can, and develop Neuromod special powers. If you played Bioshock or System Shock, there's a lot of familiarities here, which is fantastic. Prey is a good game. It's probably a bit underrated actually. Rocket League. Basically RC cars playing football. It's funny because I'm somebody who really does not care for football, and I'm garbage at this game. But add in a few friends and we'll be howling with laughter all night. Slay the Spire. Imagine a strategic card game with roguelike mechanics and you get Slay the Spire, which is almost a new genre of game. It's incredibly fun making choices and developing your own custom deck of cards. And there's plenty of challenges to overcome, which you might even need a bit of luck for. Steamworld Dig 2. This is a short 2D indie platformer where you dig your ever way downwards, while mining rare materials and gems to sell in town for upgrades. It's a little bit like a Metroidvania game where you get lots of different paths to explore, some locked behind needing various upgrades. Sunset Overdrive. An open-world batshit crazy adventure set in Sunset City, where energy drinks are turning everyone into mutant monsters. It's a goofy fun time where you'll parkour, rail grind your way around, blow up mutants and break some fourth walls. Telltale's The Walking Dead series. You've got access to all 3 parts of the gripping interactive story experience, as well as the bonus Michonne game. These games are a bit more chill, but pretty easy achievement points if that's what floats your boat. The Tomb Raider series. Through these 3 pretty damn good Tomb Raider games, we're retold Lara Croft's journey of becoming the iconic Tomb Raider we all know. The later games offer more optional tombs to explore that help you feel a bit more like an actual Tomb Raider. Void Bastards is another great indie game where you play misfit prisoners with random strengths and weaknesses as you traverse the dangers of space. It's kind of a first-person shooter with rogue elements that requires careful strategy, planning and improvisation. Warhammer Vermintide 2. Nothing compares for hacking and slashing up hordes of Skaven with friends. There's a good offering of game-changing equipment and progression systems that keep you playing past the main story. If you've any interest in the fantasy Warhammer universe or really enjoyed the Left 4 Dead games, honestly, give Vermintide 2 a try, it's great fun. That's 25. Remember, post your favourite Xbox or PC Game Pass games in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.